Hi there, this is Murray Kash to welcome you to our new series of weekly Saturday shows. Call it Country Style. 30 minutes of music on records for Saturday noontime entertainment. For a sample of same, let's listen to Del Reeves with a direct question for our male listeners. Getting any feed for your chickens?
Well, they say there ain't nothing like trying, and I ain't tried everything yet. I ain't kissed all the women I intend to. I petted everyone I'm gonna pet. So the very next good-looking woman that comes along my way, I'll walk right up, take off my hat. This is what I'll say. Are you getting any feed for your chickens? Are you getting any slop for your hogs? Just happens I got lots of garbage, and I sure hate to see a hungry hog. Just thought we might get acquainted, and I really didn't mean no harm. But if you need some feed for your chicken, let's walk on down to my barn. You ain't lived till you done a little of it, and you just as well to face the truth. If you ain't getting lots of turtle loving, you ain't getting any gravel for your goose. Well, they tell me that while the sun shines, here's a good time to make some hay. So don't let another sun go down before you find a pretty girl and say, are you getting any feed for your chicken? Are you getting any slop for your hog? Just happens I got lots of garbage, and I sure hate to see a hungry hog. Just thought we might get acquainted, and I really didn't mean no harm. But if you need some feed for your chicken, let's walk on down to my barn. Well, you needn't be afraid to try it. After all, this country's free, and they tell me every man has the right to exercise his liberty. I've had my share of face slapping, but I met lots of chicks that way. If you got lots of corn, just find a girl. This is what you say. Are you getting any feed for your chicken? Are you getting any slop for your hog? Just happens I got lots of garbage, and I sure hate to see a hungry hog.
Del Reeves asking the boys, are you getting any feed for your chickens? Talk about shooting a line full of corn. Wow, that's it. Coming up, Wanda Jackson with the old Don Gibson hit.
Everybody's going out and having fun. I'm just a fool for staying home, having none. I can't get over how he set me free. Oh, lonesome me. Well, a bad mistake I'm making by just hanging around. I know that I should have some fun and paint the town. A lovesick fool that's blind and just can't see. Oh, lonesome me. Well, I'll bet he's not like me. He's out in a fancy free, flirting with the girls with all his charm. But I still love him so, and brother, don't you know? Well, I'd welcome him right back here in my arms. Well, there must be some way I can lose these lonesome blues. Forget about the past and find somebody new. I've thought of everything from A to Z. Oh, lonesome me. Well, I'll bet he's not like me. He's out and fancy free, flirting with the girls with all his charm. But I still love him so, and brother, don't you know, that I'd welcome him right back here in my arms. Yeah, there must be some way I can lose these lonesome blues. Forget about the past and find somebody new. I've thought of everything from A to Z. Oh, lonesome me. Oh,
for me. Beautifully done by Wanda Jackson. Next on number one turntable, we have the modern bluegrass sound of Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. This twosome, along with their Foggy Mountain Boys, have toured all over North America, entertaining in contrasting venues from county fairs to Carnegie Hall to TV series like the Beverly Hillbillies. Ladies and gentlemen, Flatt and Scruggs.
Sweet baby's on, go in the sweet baby's on. Lay round the shack till the bells ring, come back and roll in the sweet baby's on. I ain't gonna work on the railroad, I ain't gonna work on the farm. Lay round the shack till the bells ring, come back and roll in the sweet baby's on. Roll in the sweet baby's on, roll in the sweet baby's on. Lay round the shack till the bells ring, come back and roll in the sweet baby's on. Now where was you last Friday night while I was lying in jail? Walking in the streets with another man, wouldn't even know my bail. Go in the sweet baby's on, go in the sweet baby's on. Lay round the shack till the bells ring, come back and roll in the sweet baby's on. I know your parents don't like me, they drove me away from your door. And my life to live over, never go there anymore. Go in the sweet baby's on, go in the sweet baby's on. Lay round the shack till the bells ring, come back and roll in the sweet baby's on. The sweet baby's on, oh, well, the sweet baby's on. Lay round the shack till the bells ring, come back and roll in the sweet baby's on.
Yes, sir. The fabulous Flatt and Scruggs playing their special kind of foot-tapping, hand-clapping music, bluegrass style, and the tune with a pleasant thought, Roll in My Sweet Baby's Arms. Many of you may have recently seen Johnny Cash when he was doing a series of concerts around the country. Well, for those who did, this will bring back pleasant memories. For those who didn't, here's an opportunity of hearing one of the finest interpreters of a story song on the musical scene today.
There's a blizzard coming on, and I'm wishing I was home. For my pony's lame and he can't hardly stand. Lord, my hands feel like they're froze, and there's a numbness in my toes. But it's only 7 miles to Marianne. It's only 7 miles to Marianne. You can bet we're on her mind, for it's nearly supper time. And I know that there's hot biscuits in the pan. Listen to that norther sigh. If we don't get home, we'll die. But it's only 5 more miles to Marianne. It's only 5 more miles to Marianne. That wind's howling and it seems mighty like a woman screams, and we'd best be moving faster if we can. Dan, just think about that barn with that hay so soft and warm. It's only 3 more miles to Marianne. It's only 3 more miles to Marianne. Come on, Dan, get up, you ornery cuss, or you'll be the death of us. I'm so weary, but I'll help you, if I can. All right, Dan, perhaps it's best we'll just stop a while and rest, for it's still another mile to Marianne. It's still another mile to Marianne. Late that night the storm was gone, and they found him there at dawn. He had made it, but he couldn't leave old Dan. Yes, they found him on the plains, his hands frozen to the reins. He was just 100 yards from Marianne. He was just 100 yards from Marianne.
Mighty nice. It was so quiet around here while we were listening to that song, you could have heard a snowflake fall. Murray Kash describing beautifully the blizzard. To celebrate the fact that the Browns have just been voted the #1 favorite singing group in the annual Country Music Awards, I've picked one of their biggest hits, I Heard the Bluebird Sing.
I met a girl out in the hills who gave my lonely heart a thrill. Her beauty seemed just like a breath of spring. And when I looked into her eyes, I thought of blue as summer skies. And when I held her hand in mine, I heard the bluebirds sing. They sang of wondering if you love her. Will she marry? Marry if you'll ask her. Will her heart be true for him for then and evermore? And when she's lonely is to near her. When there's sadness will he cheer her? Will they always be together until in death they part? I courted her for months on end until she promised we would wed. We planned on being married in the spring. All through the long cold winter months it seemed that spring would never come. And every gloomy winter day I heard the bluebirds sing. They sang of waiting for the flowers, and of counting every hour, till the bluebird chip was welcomed into the world once more. And though we're waiting for the sunshine, we keep hating every storm cloud that has gathered over the mountain to keep us far apart. The earth, we were married in the village church. Our wedding seemed just like a dream come true. So many years have come and gone, our love is still as true and strong as when I found her long ago. And still the bluebirds sang. They sang of loving every hour, that I'm married to my flower. We'll be happy ever after, as since the day we met. And though we're older, love is sweeter. We grow fonder of each other. We'll be sweethearts close together until the end of time.
The lines of demarcation between country folk and popular music have pretty well disappeared in the last few years. Pop singers singing country music, country singers singing folk. So, for example, Hank Laughlin's latest release of the Tom Paxton composition, The Last Thing on My Mind.
Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind?
Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. It's a lesson too late for the learning. Made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of an eye, my soul is turning. In your hand, in your hand. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You've got reason aplenty for going. This I know, this I know. For the weeds have been steadily growing. Please don't go, please don't go. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind.
Presenting now two handsome boys and one pretty girl, namely Bill Savino, Eric Darling, and Mindy Stewart. And if you're still wondering who I'm talking about, maybe a listen to their record will give you a clue.
Oh, buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. Way down yonder in Tennessee, working in the mine, working in the coal dust, rolling all the time. One day I saw a city girl, all dressed up in red, walked up to the foreman, and this is what I said. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. The whistle blows at noontime, we all sit down to rest. Yonder comes my darling, the girl that I love best. She brings me bread and bacon at noontime every day. I sit right down beside her, and this is what I say. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. We go down in the mine shaft when the sun is high. When our work is over, the stars are in the sky. Mining is a lonely life, but I don't really care. I know when I get home at night, my darling will be there. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling coming down the line. Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling. won't you roll down that line? Buddy, won't you roll down that line? Yonder comes my darling, coming down the line.
The talented trio called the Rooftop Singers, who used to sing my old signature tune, Walk Right In. But in this case, it was, Buddy, won't you roll down the line? And I'll take that bit of advice and roll right on to the next disc, featuring a lovely blonde lady who has recently arrived on the Nashville scene, namely Wilma Burgess. I'm sure she's here to stay as long as she keeps warbling prettily like she does with Wait Till the Sun Comes Up.
Wait till the sun comes up, you might decide to stay. How can you cast my love aside as if it were a stone? After living here with me and calling this your home, you don't have to leave tonight, tomorrow soon enough. The least that you can do is wait until the sun comes up. Wait till the sun comes up before you go away. Wait till the sun comes up, you might decide to stay. I don't believe the fire is out as long as there's a spark. Things look different in the light than they do in the dark. I wouldn't try to keep you here if you didn't mean so much. All I ask is that you wait until the sun comes up. Wait till the sun comes up before you go away. Wait till the sun comes up, you might decide to stay. You might decide to stay. You might decide to stay.
From a newcomer like Wilma Burgess, we go to an old established country performer, namely Ferlin Husky. Ferlin's tunes range from the romantic to the humorous to the belters.
It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
Adam was the first man ever invented. He lived all alone and was never contented. The Lord took a rib and he made him a mate. Then brother Adam made his first mistake. It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
Satan came along with an apple so bright. He tempted Eve and she took a big bite. Then came the troubles that we all know, handed down from a long time ago. It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
Jonah went for a sail against the word of the Lord. Storm came up and they threw him overboard. Then came a whale and it swallowed him down. 3 days later he was back on the ground. It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
Well, the sky got cloudy and the world got dark. Then Brother Noah built himself an ark. Then came the animals, 2 by 2, the hippopotamus and kangaroo. It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
It's all written there.
Open up the book and take a look.
It's all written there.
Open up the book and
Hallelujah. Ferlin Husky and the spiritual Take a Look. Well, before the sands of time run out on us, let's grab a track from the long player featuring Bobby Lord, who's about to enlighten us about the happenings out behind the barn. Hey, say, Mom, sounds like you better send the children out to play for the next couple of minutes.
My pappy used to tend my hide out behind the Then he took that strap to me and turned me down across his knee. He sure did hurt my dignity out behind the barn. I got my education out behind the barn. And I'm not a fool in no siree. No siree. Passed each examination out behind the barn. But it almost made a wreck out of me. I smoked my first cigarette out behind the barn, and that's one day I won't forget. Out behind the barn, I got so sick you should have seen how that tobacco turned me green. I almost died from nicotine out behind the barn. I got my education out behind the barn, and I'm not a fool in no siree. No siree. Passed each examination out behind the barn, but it almost made a wreck out of me. I met a pretty girl one day out behind the barn. She wanted me to stay and play out behind the barn. She taught me how to kiss and pet, and that's a game I won't forget, 'cause we still play that same game yet out behind the barn. I got my education out behind the barn, and I'm not a fool in no siree. No siree. Passed each examination out behind the barn, but it almost made a wreck out of me. Out behind the barn.
And that's all for our first show of Call It Country Style. Hope you'll be around next Saturday at high noon when we'll be dispensing another 30 minutes of music on records along the same line. Until then, this is Murray Kash saying so long for now.